Hey everybody, Steve Burns here from Criminolution.com. So if you're going to base your animation for your next homework assignment based on a curve, create your curve and make sure that your orientation is centered to the curve. So just right click on the curve and origin, then select origin to geometry. Next, go ahead and set your 3D cursor, Shift S, to the location and orientation of your curve. It's already done, so you won't see much happening. The object, make sure you also set your object to the orientation of your curve. So Shift S, selection to cursor, so that it's also set at the same location as your 3D cursor, and again, the orientation of the curve. Now, we want to do is we want to animate this object along this curve. So we're going to target our object. Come over here to our vertical menu on the right hand side. Let's go add a constraint. Over under relationship, hit follow path. And what path do we want it to follow? We want that curve, okay? So I can use the eyedropper and just click onto the curve. The curve shows up there as spiral. Okay, let's pull it back a little bit. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to hit animate the path. Now by default, normally it's like X or so, but you know, you get to play around with this. So if I play this, let's go ahead and pull it back and play this. This is what we're getting. Okay, I want this to follow the path. Let's go back to the beginning. Come right down here where it says follow curve. Click it, and you can see it's turned to a side a little bit. That basically means that we're going to have to mess with our adjustments here. So if I go to X, that's better, but it's going backwards, really. Right? I want it to go. I want the forward, the front of the car. The face the direction that we're going. Okay, so now, what I'll do instead of the X, I'm going to select negative X. There we go. Now the front. Now we're moving with the front of the car based on the orientation or the orientation of the spline itself. There we go. Now you'll notice that this stops at 100. Okay, there's a reason why. We need to go to the spline data, or I should say the curve data. Click on the curve here, and then the curve data property is over to the right, our right side vertical menu. Let's go ahead and select this data here. And if we go down to the path animation right there, you can see by default the frames is 100. So if I want this animation to start at 0 and to end at 100 and not end at 250, I should say, and not end at 100, then we set the frames right here to 250. So we go to 250, and then we play it, and you notice that the car is going to move a lot slower, and it will end at frame 250 and then start again all across our curve. Okay. All right, so there you have it. If you want this to be longer frames, for example, how about if we go to something like 300? And I'm going to kind of pull this on down so we can see our active timeline from 0 to 300. But this is still going to end at 250. So it's going to continue straight off the path, thinking that you want the animation to continue to flow, even though your curve ends further back. So we simply come here to the frames, put in 350, and that changes it all. So now it ends at 350. So I'm going to pull this up. We also need to go to our timeline, set that for 350 so we can see it. There we go. That's more efficient, and there it is. Ends at 350. 0 to 350. There you go. So that's how you control the length of the speed of your vehicle to match the length of your curve. All right. Hopefully that was helpful. I thought that would be a nice little tip for you. Looking forward to seeing your homework. Enjoy.